Hello. How's everybody doing? I am Ellis K. Popa, author of the Awakened Saga.
I'm Nicole Williams. I'm the book assistant extraordinaire. We'll be your host for the day.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. Y'all have been hearing from Nicole. I actually provided her the wrong link, so you may have gotten another email from Nicole explaining that the correct link would be the YouTube link. So if anybody actually ends up trying to access the live stream through StreamYard directly, we're going to route y'all to YouTube because YouTube, it's unlimited viewers. We didn't realize that StreamYard was limited. So Nicole sent out those correction emails. So in case y'all were wondering about that discrepancy, that was my fault. It was my first time using StreamYard, so
we learn as we go.
We do. And now we know. So, yeah. Well, who's ready to party?
Woohoo!
Yeah. So, let's see what you have, Nicole. What did you bring?
I've got my warm baguette with brie.
That looks so good.
Little splash of red wine. Let's go with that.
I actually have, this is not in the scene, but it's so delicious. I was craving chocolate. I actually found chocolate wine. I don't know if y'all know this exists. It's actually red wine mixed with chocolate. I don't know how they do it, but it's really, really good, and it's fixing my sweet tooth. So,
hi, Bob.
I just saw that come through. Hi, Bob. How you doing? Hey, you can hear us? Let us know if you can hear us in the chat. So yeah, so I'm drinking that. I'm gonna actually hang on to it because it's really delicious. Mm-hmm. Nicole, I wish you were here. I wish I could send this to you through the computer. How's yours? How's your red wine?
It's good. It's very it's a sweeter wine. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that. Sometimes I'm in the mood for like really dry. And then sometimes I want something sweeter. So yeah. So let's see what is on the agenda today. Nicole, why don't you just give a brief little rundown of what we're going to be doing?
All right. So we have some videos for everyone. We've got a couple of book trailers that we're excited to share with you, including the main book trailer for Dawn to Dusk. We've got our recreated picnic scene. That's what all the food is about. We'll be having a reading from the author, from our beloved Ellis K.
That's me.
Of a scene in the book of a rooftop picnic in Paris. And
that's right.
We've got some playlists for you guys.
Yes, that's right. So Kickstarter backers and all you Awaken supporters are getting access to special playlists. So we already had the Dawn to Dusk playlist, but now there is also a playlist for Dom, the new character in the book, and Emilien. He is one of the French bad guys. He was introduced to us in the first book, and now he's back for book 2. So, yeah. Should we start, what do you think, with the trailer for Awaken the Dawn? Because I don't think everybody has seen that.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and play that for y'all. If you've seen it, you know, it's really short anyway. But for those of you who haven't, this is the trailer from book 1. This is not the trailer for Dawn to Dusk. This is the main trailer for book 1. Let's go. So that was book one, Awaken the Dawn, and that is the book that centers around the scavenger hunt. Book two transitions into more of an action-packed thriller. It is still young adult, and it is still crossover because it's not young adult in the traditional high school setting. It is got the angsty relationships of young adult. The main character's 18. She's definitely got the YA voice, but it is set in predominantly Paris. It's set outside of the typical high school setting that you normally find in young adult books. So yeah, so that's book one.
Yes. Speaking of bad guys,
Ooh,
we have some breaking news about one of the villains from Dawn to Dusk.
I did hear about that, Nicole. I heard about it.
Mm.
Let me see. Let me see if our producer has anything real quick. I'm gonna go check with.
Late breaking news.
Ellis K here, reporting on this late breaking story about a standoff happening in London. Authorities have surrounded the summer home of Vladimir Rizvan, leader of the Rizvan crime family, after a shootout that's left one person dead and two injured thus far. Nicole Love is on the scene with more. Nicole?
That's right, Kay. It seems Vladimir Razvan was wanted for questioning in a completely separate incident that happened in Spain. This incident involved a shootout at El Prat International Airport. We're not sure at this time what Mr. Razvan's connection may be to that incident, but when the UK authorities arrived at his summer home, violence ensued. There was another shootout, and now Mr. Razvan has barricaded himself inside the home. London police and a special SWAT team have been attempting to breach the barricade.
Nicole, some people may not know who Vladimir Rizvan is. They may not have even heard of the Rizvan crime family. Can you tell us a little bit more?
Yes. So, Vladimir Razvan is a well known head of a criminal family. He was a Securitate. He was accused of killing his own wife and unborn child, and there were rumors that he even murdered his own mother.
So, what were the Securitate? Can you tell us?
The Securitate were Romania's secret police force during communism, similar to the Nazi SS or the East German Stasi. They were a ruthless bunch, trained by the KGB, and were involved in extreme and experimental torture in communist prisons, including Stalinist psychological torture techniques.
I understand you have an eyewitness there who saw the events that transpired today. Is that right, Nicole?
That's right, Kay. Bethany Holmes was in the Knightsbridge neighborhood investigating an unrelated crime on behalf of her cousin, the illustrious Sherlock Holmes, when she witnessed these incredible events. Here's my interview with her.
Hello, yes, thank you for having me. Right, well, I was in Knightsbridge and I was working a case for my cousin, the illustrious Sherlock Holmes. You may have heard of him when gunfire rang out. So several coppers, they ran towards the posh home nearby Harrods, and very quickly the property was surrounded by a special operations unit from the London's police. So these officers wore SWAT gear and carried tactical rifles, which was very terrifying, especially in London. We don't see much tactical gear. So that was quite an interesting experience.
And where were you when the SWAT team arrived?
Yeah, so I was on the Harrods side, and having come back from questioning the manager of a shop in the case I was working with Sherlock. Yeah.
Bethany, you mentioned something when we first talked and you were sharing your eyewitness account with me. It was something odd you
Mhm.
noticed. What was
Yeah,
it?
it's actually two things. So before anything significant took place, there was already a news crew on the scene. It wasn't any network I'd heard of, not the BBC, nothing like that. And I found it rather strange that they were there. I'd never heard of this particular news crew, and I'm pretty adept at um, seeing the people and working alongside the media when I'm working on these cases. So the other oddity I noticed involved Vladimir Rozvan himself. With all the excitement, I did stay nearby and I watched the events firsthand. And when the police finally breached the home and arrested Mr. Rosvan, he did look as he didn't quite look like I expected him to look. I had seen some photos in the past, and there just seemed to be some inconsistencies with his appearance.
And how was that?
Well, the individual who's arrested appeared much younger than Mr. Rosvan, and he did have grey hair, but the grey fell in different shades, as if maybe it had been coloured at some point. Maybe it'd been to the salon at some point. I'm not quite sure, but I did express my concern to the police as well as my cousin. But everyone is doing their absolute best to investigate these discrepancies. Yes.
Thank you so much, Bethany.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
Well, you heard it here first, Kay. Something isn't adding up.
Yeah, it sure does sound like it, Nicole. We'll keep an eye on the situation. Would you update us when you know more?
Absolutely. That's what I'm here for.
Excellent. For now, that's all for our late breaking news. All right. Well, I think we have some Spotify playlists to share with y'all. Nicole's going to put those into the comments in the chat. And it's going to be the Dawn to Dusk playlist, which is the general playlist for the book. If you listen to it, it actually takes you on a journey through the entire book. So if you kind of listen to the lyrics of the songs and the kind of the mood that the song set is very much how the book flows. But then we also have a playlist for Dom, who is the new character. And his playlist is a little bit jazzier. I think it's predominantly French songs. It's possibly all French songs. And he's got some Irina Reem and just some like French jazz type music. And then also Emilion's playlist. Emilion's playlist is a little bit more what you'd find in the Dawn to Dusk playlist. And in fact, a few of his songs are on the Dawn to Dusk playlist. So it's kind of that darker feel, darker vibe sort of that his playlist will give you. So those will be there. It looks like Nicole's putting those in there now. Excellent. And yeah, y'all can access those. Be sure you like them on Spotify. That way it will go into your liked songs or liked playlists, and you can reference it anytime. You can listen to it in the lead up to the release before you get the book, before you start reading the book, while you're reading the book. You can listen to it after if it helps you process. These playlists have definitely helped me during the revision process. So I hope y'all enjoyed. And when you're done with that, Nicole, what do you think about playing the current trailer before we get to the reading? What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. So you've already seen the trailer from book 1, okay? Now we have the current trailer for book 2. This is not the new trailer. This is the current trailer that's already been released. It's already available on YouTube. It's already been shared pretty widely, but not everybody has seen it. So if you'd like to see it, while Nicole is finishing up that, I will go ahead and play the current trailer for Dawn to Dusk. All right, so that is the current trailer for Dawn to Dusk. We are very soon here going to get to the big reveal, which is the new trailer, which a few people saw it on Friday night, but it has not been publicly released yet. We are going to be doing a tour with a big release, but everybody here is getting a sneak peek of that trailer. So stay tuned. I think, are we doing the reading next? Okay, I think we've lost Nicole. So whatever you just said, Nicole, it didn't come through. It looks like your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
I was talking
Sorry,
about Bob's comments.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we want to read the comments. Let's read through them.
Bob said, I am still stunned getting served by a guy in a supermarket yesterday. His name was Emilion.
That's right. Bob did reach out and tell me that. Bob, I think you said he was French, wasn't he? Did he sound French? He must have come over from there and been. Were you in the UK or did you go to France? It's definitely.
I thought that was so funny, though.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he also said, "Love the trailer." Thanks, Bob. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I like that trailer too. I like both of those that we played. But the one that we're going to be releasing later after the reading, the new book trailer, I mean, I just think it's epic. I think it's the best one out of all of them. So yeah, so I'm excited about that.
It makes me wish you had a movie deal already.
Come on, Netflix. So I am going to put on, for those of y'all who didn't see, this is Vladimir. He is of the Rezvan crime family. He's the head of the Rezvan crime family. And he is wanted by the police, currently in a standoff. And that is who we were talking about in our news report. So I'm going to kind of rotate through some of the characters here real quick. This is Emilien. He is French, but he is working with the Rizvan crime family. And as you can see, he is in Paris. And what is he doing in Paris? This is where Kat and Maxime are. And then we also have Dom. Dom is the new character, beloved by all the early readers. Everybody loves Dom. Haven't met anyone yet who doesn't love him. He's very lovable. He's a lovable character.
All the
And
ladies are ready for the rooftop picnic with Dom.
that's true. Oh gosh. Oh, it looks like we have some new comments. Real quick before we start the reading, Nicole,
Yes.
do you want to read them?
Yes. Kayla said, I haven't finished book 1, so hopefully there won't be too many spoilers.
We'll try to make sure there's not too many for you.
And Bob said he did sound French, and I was tempted to ask if he was still looking for Kat.
Bob, you'll have to go back to the place and let us know. You'll have to take a copy of the book in there and have him sign it. Cool. Okay. Well, awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to leave Dom on here. I'm going to leave Dom and Nicole with you. And I will read. Who's ready for a reading from the rooftop picnic scene? Not sure if y'all heard that, but that was Peaky. I think he's ready. Okay, so this is from Dawn. This is from Dawn to Dusk, the new book. And this whole thing about like bringing the food and the different grocery items that Nicole sent out is from this scene. So here we go. My dreams were patchy, incoherent. In one, I was running from Vladimir, in another from Maxine. At one point, I found myself running through an unfamiliar street, and I couldn't figure out who was chasing me. Each time I turned around, there was nobody there. Still, I kept running, and all the while Brandy's voice echoed around me. I could never find her, but I knew she was saying something about Maxine. I tried to warn you about him. A car motor roused me from sleep. A dog barked, and my eyes shot open to darkness. Light screeched from somewhere behind me. I sat up, and the biggest, brightest nightlight greeted me, the Eiffel Tower. Golden light streamed inside through the windows. A spotlight swung from the top, rotating in a full circle. Maxime? I dragged my stare from the view. The rest of the apartment was pitch dark. Hello? Silence answered. I stood up, intending to search for a light. My foot found something solid instead, and I toppled forward. Ouch! I belly flopped onto the floor as keys rattled. The jangle twisted and the door opened. A 6-foot-tall silhouette with amazing hair and a moderate build appeared in the doorway. Dom made his way inside. Paper rustled, and when the kitchen light blinked on, I spied him carrying a sack of groceries. A simple, elegant logo stamped the outside of the paper bag. Bon Prix, Christine. A baguette stuck out from the top. He was unpacking the bag when he noticed me. Bonsoir. How are you? His hair, still perfectly swept to the side, gave a slight bounce as he looked up from the groceries. Fine, I said. Sort of. How long have I been asleep? Since many hours. It was still the daytime. He held up a round block of cheese. Maxime said you would be hungry. Is he still gone, or... Still gone, yes. Dom slid a bottle of wine out of the fridge. I brushed myself off and limped around a moving box. That was the obstacle that had tripped me. Are you moving in or out? Out, if all goes according to plan. He pushed up a smile. I am waiting to hear about your job. It would require a move. That's a shame. I joined him in the kitchen. Pretty sure you have the best view in Paris. Oh, yes, the view. And you have not seen the best part yet. His smile warmed another degree. Nice shirt. It is appropriate in light of our holiday tomorrow. I peeked down at myself. He was referring to the tourism Bastille Day shirt. Wrinkles marred the blue, white, and red map. Maxime got it for me, I said. My other shirt was, dirty. I wasn't about to tell him why it'd been dirty, aka with somebody else's blood. Do you know what it means? Dom nodded toward the shirt. It is the motto of our republic. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. I know liberté means liberty. Liberty, equality, fraternity. In our nation, we believe human beings are born free, with equal rights, and that we should act in a spirit of brotherhood. His smile hitched on one side. It is good to understand the motto you wear, no? He followed it up with a wink that very nearly made me blush. He threw together a charcuterie tray, different cheeses, olives, deli meats, and handed me 3 wine glasses. In case Maxime joins us, he said, grabbing 2 bottles of wine. I followed him past the guest bathroom, then the spare bedroom, and into the master bedroom. A set of French doors led to a classic balcony on our right. A modern, minimalist bathroom in various shades of cream sat to our left. Dom went to the right, and my heart came alive. Are we eating on the balcony? I asked. Bah no. Tonight we dine at the best table in Paris. He made his way to a set of stairs that ascended to a loft area with a large window. The pane was already pushed open, and Dom climbed straight through. I trailed behind him, and as my head broke the surface, I gasped. The rooftops of Paris stretched around us. City lights glowed, and there, right in the middle of it all, was the Eiffel Tower. The spotlight swung around, completing a 360-degree turn. Dom edged past a row of terracotta chimney pots and set the charcuterie tray on a blanket lying on a portion of flat roof. Your table, mademoiselle? He swept a hand, gesturing with the wine bottles. Wow, I joined him. You weren't kidding about the view. It is the one thing I will miss after my move. He took the wine glasses from me. The baguette warms in the oven with the bling. I must not forget them. He set the glasses down. Many French are playing charcuterie with the red wine, but I like to begin with the white. It's okay? Okay, but I'm not 21. This is not a problem here. Please, if you do not enjoy it, bah, he waved me off. I know you will enjoy it. Live, love. It is not as if you have to drink zesty. That made me chuckle. The cork was wedged halfway in the bottle. He plucked it out and tipped the mouth toward my glass. Buttery yellow liquid flowed. He poured himself a glass and then swirled the wine. This is Viognier, he said. You may detect notes of stone fruit and ambrosia. I am eager to know if you will like it. I copied him, tried to, and ended up splashing myself. Go figure. Okay, so I wiped my leg. What's the deal with all this? He was taking a drink and held up his finger. I gave him a moment to swish the wine, his cheeks puffing. Then he swallowed and smiled from behind the glass. What is the question? What's the deal? I motioned at our surroundings. We could have eaten on the couch or the patio. Why bring me up here? I knew you were hungry, and I suspected you may enjoy the beautiful scenery. As he lifted his glass again, a twinkle entered his eyes, and I swallowed my first sip. This stuff was pretty good. Tasted like liquefied candy, but without all the extra sugar. And, I repeated, taking another sip, I am curious what brings you to Paris. He nibbled a bite of cheese. Maxime has not been here in more than 1 year. Then poof! He gestured with his free hand, fingers breaking apart. Here he is, and he has you, and you both look, I took my first bite of cheese. It was aged cheddar, smoky, and it was delicious. I hadn't realized how hungry I was. I shoved the entire slice in my mouth. We both look what? I mumbled. Homeless? Dom chuckled. It is not a horrible description. You wouldn't be wrong, I guess. We are kind of homeless. Maxime definitely is. I collected a wedge of blue cheese, another slice of cheddar, and took a bite of each. Then I took another sip of wine. Except this sip was more of a gulp. Really, it's a vacation gone awry, I said between bites. First world problems, right? Are you two together? His eyebrows flew high. He leaned forward, chomping on the cheese. When I looked away, he took a swig of the wine. No! You are his girlfriend? I shook my head. His wife? Dom sat straight. Mon Dieu! My God. No. I was his girlfriend. But now my emotions swelled. I snatched up several pieces of salami and shoveled them into my mouth. We were together, I said, chewing, but then he broke up with me. I gulped everything now with the rest of my wine, trying my hardest not to cry. Dom's expression was tall and wide by the time I lowered the glass and held it out to him. He rushed to fill it up. So you are not together now? Apparently not. I retracted my hand and the glass went straight to my lips. I do not understand. Dom topped off his own glass. If you are not together, then why did you arrive together? And why do you look like this, like something terrible has happened? Maybe it was the wine. Maybe it was the simplicity of Dom's kindness. Whatever the case, I spilled the whole story to him, starting with Dad's business trip to Romania, the scavenger hunt that arrived after he died, and how I'd traveled to Romania to figure out what he'd been saying through the clues. The wine flowed. For the most part, the tears did not. Normally, I would have been crying my eyes out, but a wonderfully numb sensation had settled over me. I held up my wine, peering through the glass while I twisted the stem. The pale liquid shimmered under the glow of the Eiffel Tower. I tumbled through the story and through my wine and said, Maxime was kidnapped as a child and raised in this crime family as one of her own. The thing is, Vladimir, the head of the crime family, was the older brother of my dad. I snorted. Now my own uncle wants to kidnap me and... Excusez-moi. Dom pushed up. I want to know more, please, but I need one moment. He hurried to the window, climbed through, and disappeared. Harris kept me company while he was gone. The hum of traffic, the honks, the shouts. A police siren was the only thing that set me on edge. But with the Eiffel Tower right there, close enough to soak in the golden glow, I didn't feel afraid. A splash of wine sat in the bottom of my glass. I swirled it, watching it glide around. As I did, I had the distinct impression I was the one being swirled, even though I was the one holding the glass. And that is all I'm going to read, because it does go on for a little bit and it might reveal too much more. So, yeah, that's from the rooftop picnic scene.
You caught me. I was snacking on my rooftop picnic.
I totally would have been too. I would have been sipping on my wine, except that I was having to read. I guess I could have sipped while I was doing the parts where she was supposed to have a mouthful of cheese.
Hey, that's why we're here, right? For the rooftop picnic, the reading, and the trailer.
That's right. And the chocolate wine. For those of y'all who weren't here, this is not in the scene, but it is some kind of Dutch chocolate wine that they mix with red wine. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how it's blended, but it's really delicious. It's a really nice dessert wine. So I've just been kind of sipping on this. So yeah. All right. Let me see what else we have. We've already shared you guys, if y'all just got here, make sure you grab your Spotify playlist. We have a special one for Dom, who's the new character that we just read about. And we have one for Emilien. This is Emilien. There he is. He is a Frenchman. That's one bad dude. He is a bad guy. So, yeah. And then this is Vladimir. Vladimir, the boss of the crime family. Vladimir Rizvan. Oh, let's see what Bob says. What's Bob saying over here? Bob says, cheers to you both, but I am not on wine. I'm on gin and tonic. Bravo. Are you drinking Beefeater or do you do a different one, Bob? Kayla has some applause hands going on. Thank you, Kayla. Bob says it was an awesome reading and loved the accents. Thank you very much. I've had to get the accents down as I've been doing my revisions. So I read out loud a lot, and you know, if my husband or anybody else is ever around, sometimes they kind of give me a funny look. But it does help. It helps to read it out loud. So
yeah, after I read I was one of the early readers for those that don't know, and when I read, I walked around my house speaking with a French accent after I had read like all of part 2 because there's so much French influence, but I'm terrible at accents, so you don't want to hear that.
I usually am too, and if a French person heard me doing that accent, they would probably be like, "Ah no, what is this?" I hopefully there's not anybody that I've offended with my accent, but I'm doing the best I can, y'all. And hopefully it conveys more like in people's minds, you know, like as they're reading Dom saying this, hopefully it will convey. So yeah.
I'm going to post the Spotify playlists again for anyone that may have missed them earlier, because I see that we have some more viewers, so I'm just going to put those in the comments.
That sounds good. And we're going to get it set up, y'all, because we have played the trailer for book 1, the main trailer. We played the current Dawn to Dusk trailer. That's the book 2 trailer. But we have not yet played the main book trailer. So we're getting ready to do that here in just a second. All right, so I think I just need to get it uploaded and we will be ready. What about you, Nicole? Did you get the Spotify playlists?
Yes, ma'am. We've got those playlists posted again in the comments. Bob says, I love the look of the playlists.
We really hope you like those. Dom's is really fun if you're into jazzy type of music, although they are all in French. There's a couple that are just more instrumental, but that's very much speaks to his personality. If you like, if you want something that's in English, there's a lot of English songs in Emilian's. And they very much speak to how I, as the author, imagine him feeling and some of the internal struggle and turmoil that he's going through. There's some Stromae, there's Metalgim, there's all kinds of French and English songs in his. So that one's a bit more diverse and a lot of fun. So y'all enjoy those. And then there's the main Dawn to Dusk playlist, which actually tells the whole story of the whole book through Kat, Maxime's, and Emilian's perspectives. So that's a lot of fun too. Those are mostly English songs, but just a couple of French ones. All right, we got the trailer up and rolling. Who's ready? Who's ready to see the trailer? Yeah? Woo! If you're ready, Grab whatever you brought with you to the rooftop picnic. I got my chocolate wine. Nicole's got her red wine. And here we go. All right. It's short and sweet and to the point, but it's awesome. That's my favorite trailer so far.
Yeah, it encompasses the book so well.
I think it does too. And even I don't make those, but the guy who did, I hire a professional guy, and he was like, I think this is my best book trailer ever that I've made. He was so pleased with the cuts, and so it just think all around it just really came together so nicely. So yeah, so that's it, you guys.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone.
Here we have a little comment from Bethany.
Yay!
Love the ticking. I know, I love that so much. It really does encompass the book so well because it's like this kind of ticking clock, and I think that you guys are going to really enjoy it. I'm getting a lot of good feedback from the early readers. So Bob says, truly is an awesome trailer. Love it. Thank you so much, Bob. We love it too. We're so happy. We're dead chuffed with it. I just think it came out so well, and just really, really excited. I can't wait for y'all to read it. And he answered the question earlier and I missed it. He is drinking Tanqueray. I don't know if that's how you say it. Tanqueray? Tanqueray? I can't remember how to say it. I know I've heard it before. I have seen those. They're like flavored gins. Or they have flavored. I don't know that he's drinking the flavored one, but I've seen the ones that are flavored, and you can do all kinds of like fun gin and tonics with like burnt lemon and all these different herbs and things, and rosemary, and I've seen all kinds of cool stuff.
Nice.
So, very cool. Well, good. Well, thanks for joining, y'all. And it looks like we finished in just under an hour, so that's perfect. That's what we were aiming for. A special thank you to Bethany Holmes for for her eyewitness account of what happened. I almost feel like we should end with Bethany. Should we end with your interview with her? For those who may have missed it.
That fabulous accent.
I think we should. You want to?
Yeah, we can. We'll do it. We'll go through it again.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it one more time because there's some people who didn't get to join us for that. It looks like there's a few more viewers. Well, now it's not gonna. Here we go. Hi everyone, Ellis K here, and we are reporting live about a breaking news report about a standoff happening in London. We have Nicole Love here with more. Nicole?
That's right, Kay. It seems Vladimir Razvan was wanted for questioning in a completely separate incident in Spain. This incident involved a shootout at El Prat International Airport. We're not sure at this time what Mr. Razvan's connection may be to that incident, but when the UK authorities arrived at his summer home, violence ensued. There was another shootout, and now Mr. Razvan has barricaded himself inside the home. London police and a special SWAT team unit have been attempting to breach the barricade.
Nicole, some people may not know who Vladimir Rizvan is. They may not have heard of the Rizvan crime family. Can you tell us a little bit more?
So, Vladimir Rusvan is known as being the head of a well known crime family in Romania. He was a Securitate. He was accused of murdering his wife and young son, and there were even rumors that he may have murdered his own mother.
And who were the Securitate? Can you tell us?
The Securitate were Romania's secret police during communism, similar to the Nazi SS or the East German Stasi. They were a ruthless bunch, trained by the KGB, and were involved in extreme and experimental torture techniques in communist prisons, including Stalinist psychological torture techniques.
I understand you have an eyewitness there who saw the events that transpired. Is that right?
That's right, Kay. Bethany Holmes was in the Knightsbridge neighborhood investigating an unrelated crime on behalf of her cousin, the illustrious Sherlock Holmes, when she witnessed these incredible events. Here's my interview with her.
For having me. Right, well, I was in Knightsbridge and I was working a case for my cousin, the illustrious Sherlock Holmes. You may have heard of him when gunfire rang out. So several coppers, they ran towards the posh home nearby Harrods, and very quickly the property was surrounded by a special operations unit from the London's police. So these officers wore SWAT gear and carried tactical rifles, which was very terrifying, especially in London. We don't see much tactical gear. So that was quite an interesting experience.
And where were you when the SWAT team arrived?
Yeah, so I was on the Harrods side, and having come back from questioning the manager of a shop in the case I was working with Sherlock. Yeah.
You shared with me earlier when we first talked that you noticed something odd. What was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually two things. So before anything significant took place, there was already a news crew on the scene. It wasn't any network I'd heard of, not the BBC, nothing like that. And I found it rather strange that they were there. I'd never heard of this particular news crew, and I'm pretty adept at seeing the people and working alongside the media when I'm working on these cases. So the other oddity I noticed involved Vladimir Rosvan himself. With all the excitement, I did stay nearby and I watched the events firsthand. And when the police finally breached the home and arrested Mr. Rosvan, he did look as he didn't quite look like I expected him to look. I had seen some photos and there seemed to be some inconsistencies with his appearance.
And how was that?
Well, the individual who's arrested appeared much younger than Mr. Rosvan, and he did have grey hair, but the grey fell in different shades, as if maybe it had been coloured at some point. Maybe been to the salon at some point. I'm not quite sure, but I did express my concern to the police as well as my cousin. But everyone is doing their absolute best to investigate these discrepancies. Yes.
Thank you so much, Bethany.
All right. Well, thank you for having me.
You heard it here first, Kay. Something isn't adding up.
It sure isn't, Nicole. And this is a picture of Vladimir Rosvan. If anybody sees this man, now the police should have him in custody. But as you heard from Bethany Holmes, private investigator, cousin of the illustrious Sherlock Holmes, there's some discrepancies with the man who she saw arrested. So if you actually see this man here, please call the police immediately. Do not approach him. He is armed and dangerous. His last known whereabouts are in London, UK.
I think that's it for our late breaking news.
That's right. We so enjoyed having you guys. We're just having a blast over here. And we're so thankful that you tuned in. And yeah, we can't wait to see you at the next live event. We're going to be doing another virtual event for the actual launch party. So we hope that you will tune in, and we're going to do a fresh reading. We're going to do a reading from the beginning of the book that has some action scenes going on. So we hope you'll join us. For now, I'm Ellis, signing off.
I'm Nicole.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.